Today I was sorting through my books and going through the library again, and I found this handy dandy little I really need to get this work, 5 finger test. So one thing that really helps your students or your children um, get excited about reading is what we call self-selection. I know right now we can't go to the library. I know right now we probably aren't going to go to the bookstore, but when you do have those resources available to you, I always suggest to parents take your kids to the library and let them choose what they want to read. So many parents want to strongly encourage their children to read a certain type of literature or a certain book, and that's all fine and good, but they get that all day long at school. I My goal in life is to make lifelong readers that love to read the way I do. And so the number one thing is to have a lot of selection. Right now on the internet, you probably do have a lot of selection. So there's fantasy, like my Harry Potter. There's realistic and historical fiction, kind of like my Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. Biographies, Harriet Tubman, lots of biographies. The Who Was series, wonderful series for grade school kids. Sports, those sports magazines, anything sports for you. If you have any young boys or girls that are reluctant readers, sometimes that's a great way to get them involved or more excited about their reading. I had one young student, he just would not read, so I took him into the library and I said, if you could pick anything, what would you pick? He picked a nonfiction book about, I think it was mechanical engineering or airplanes or something. And I'm not a huge fan of nonfiction things of that. I prefer fantasy or more fiction works when I'm reading for fun or for pleasure. But once we found that he loved nonfiction and let him pick and take those books back to his classroom and home, he was so excited. And the more we read, the better we become at it. That's just true of anything. So once you have your student online, I would have them read for, usually when we're reading a book, we say have them read one page. I would have them read for 60 to 90 seconds. And every time they miss a word, they just put up a finger. And if at the end of their 90 seconds, they have 1 to 2 fingers up, or excuse me, if they have 0 fingers up, that means the book might be a little easy for them. That does not mean they cannot read it. Some of my favorite books in the world are a 4th grade level, and I guarantee you I can read at a higher level, but I love Little House on the Prairie. I love Sarah Plain and Tall. I love all of these Harry Potter books and things like that. Well, they're below my grade level, and I still read them and I still enjoy them, and it helps me learn about language and other people that I might not meet. And, you know, you're definitely not going to meet anybody at Hogwarts. If they are holding up 2 fingers at the end of their 90 seconds or page of reading, that book is about just right for them. If they're holding 3, the book is a little challenging, but they still might like it. Might need to have the ability to click and get a word, some help with a word if they need to. Kindles and online reading programs are doing that nowadays. 4 fingers, this book will be very challenging. You probably need to read this with a grown-up. And 5 fingers, that book is just, you may love it, but it's something that you're not going to be able to read independently. You're going to be needing some help with that or have it read to you. It does not mean, again, that you cannot enjoy the story. But if a student or child is spending all of their time decoding words, number one, they're not going to comprehend. They're spending $9.95 of their comprehension on decoding, sounding out the words. And they have 5 cents left for comprehension, story, figurative language, plot structure, characters. There's a lot of stuff to shove into that five little cents. So again, 2 to 3 fingers is ideal for your student if you want something that's right about at their level. That means 2 to 3 missed words or unknown words in the course of about 60 to 90 seconds. I hope that this helps as you're going online and or borrowing books from each other's libraries as you're trying to find out what level book or magazine or article is right for your student. Again, self-selection, put up a finger for every word they miss. If it's 4 or 5, it's going to be too hard. They're going to need your help. If it's 0, doesn't mean they can't love it, but it's not going to really challenge them as far as vocabulary and decoding. Happy weekend. Stay safe and share with me what your kids are reading. I'm dying to see.